Tonight on News 5 Live. On the final day of debate, Patrick Faber has a go at the Briseno administration's 2023 budget. He raises concerns of transparency and accountability. The perennial issue of illegal dump sites in Ladyville. We'll show you why it's costing the village council thousands of dollars in revenue. And another protest in the north. Members of the St. Francis Xavier Credit Union say they want the central bank out. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Staying connected with your loved ones while traveling is even more important during this global pandemic. With Digi, this is even easier and more convenient with our data roaming plans. Postpaid customers have instant access to mobile data within 41 destinations worldwide. With 3 affordable plans, starting at only $28, it's easy to instantly connect via your favorite digital platform. To purchase your data roaming plan, contact Digi before your travel date. If you are already abroad, you can contact us via email at digihelp@livedigi.com or via WhatsApp at 608-8888. For more information, visit our website at livedigi.com/digicel or visit a Digi store near you. You can roam, stay safe, and stay connected with Digi.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
Indulge the flavor. Go beyond meat. Looks like meat. Tastes like meat. But it's better than meat. 100% plant-based. Rich in protein, 50% less saturated fat, no GMOs, no added soy, packed with benefits and sustainable. Beyond meat, good for you, good for the environment. Now available in 6 different types of products in Belize. Beyond burger, beyond sausage, beyond beef, beyond chicken nuggets, beyond chicken tenders, beyond steak, beyond meat, distributed by United Distributors Limited.
At Brothers Habet and Habet, we are proud to support and celebrate Women's Month. This year, the theme is embracing equity, and we believe that everyone deserves equal opportunity and access to the tools they need to make their dreams a reality. That's why, for the entire month of March, we are offering all women a special 15% discount on all products store-wide. Whether you're a professional, a DIY enthusiast, or just looking to tackle a home improvement project, we have everything you need to get the job done. So come on down to Habet and Brothers Habet and embrace equity. Let's work together to break down barriers and empower all women to build a brighter future. From all of us at Brothers Habet and Habet, Happy Women's Month.
This Friday at the FFP Stadium in Belmopan, it's personal. The Belize men's national team versus Guatemala's national team in the CONCACAF Nations League on Friday, March 24th at 8 p.m. Don't miss a minute of the action. Catch it live only on Channel 5. This one is for Belize. Sponsors are My Lights, Nando's Wholesale, Midriver, Rambocan, Uno, Climate Finance Unit, Ministry of Economic Development, Atlantic Insurance, Modisco, Smart Belize, Road Safety Project, Ministry of Finance Economic Development, in partnership with Caribbean Development Bank, Police Tourism Board, Penny's Home Center, and Digi.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, March 24th. I am Sabrina Daly. The final day of the 2023-2024 budget debate got underway with Collet Area Representative Patrick Fauber criticizing the Briseno administration's financial plan for the upcoming fiscal cycle. The exchange across the floor was not as animated today as it has been in the past, except for a moment when Fauber was called out momentarily for referring to Anthony Mahler, the area representative for Pickstock, by his nickname. Fauber apologized and said he meant no harm and that he considered Mahler his friend. But while Fauber had no harsh words for his former university schoolmate, he was relentless in his criticism of the budget, which he felt lacks transparency and accountability for the large sums of money spent on projects and initiatives. The parliamentarian, who was out of the country at the start of the debate, says that the budget fails to show exactly how the monies are being spent.
The Prime Minister's address cited several examples of ongoing and completed projects that were initiated by the UDP. The fact that the Prime Minister takes no shame, he don't got no shame. The Minister of Education don't got no shame. They gonna go cut ribbon for schools all over the place. They never got nothing to deal with. The demands, you're obliged to do that. All I'm saying, you're obliged to attend the ceremony. Give credit where credit is due. The Prime Minister takes no shame, Madam Speaker, in claiming them as his government's achievements, and this is disingenuous and it lacks integrity. The way I choose to describe it, Madam Speaker, is that they are brazenly snatching the fruits of others' labors. They embody the essence of creative parasites. They're not afraid for you. Outright. Watch the STEAM initiative. I could never believe them. You'd think that they conceive the way they speak about this STEAM initiative. The Prime Minister mentioned it in his, my goodness, I came to this honorable house years ago. The loan was approved years ago. Let's look at some of the things that the Prime Minister claims in his presentation. Let's look at them. Upgrading of the Caracol Road. I wish somebody, and maybe we should do this as an opposition, we need to go back and see how much time that man who is the Prime Minister was on this side of the house criticizing the Caracol project. And the member from Cairo South as well. They came here, they're not one time, Madam Speaker, they're not two times, they come and they quarrel vociferously against these projects. Now this man put this in a pipe and he smoke this all the way.
Prime Minister John Briseno responded to Fauber's criticism by explaining how the government invested in projects such as national health insurance across the country, water systems, and health clinics. The Prime Minister also explained how the current government reformed primary education in less than a year after they took office.
You want to know how we were able to drastically reduce poverty? Because we used that money you all were too incompetent to spend, and we put them in water systems in the south to help improve conditions in our schools, to build clinics, expand NHI. NHI in Corozal was only for Corozal B, only Corozal B. And the same money that they were spending in Corozal Bay, we are giving even more services to the entire district of Corozal. And this year, in this new budget, with the, is it 7 or 8 million? 7 million that we're going to spend in Erenjog district, and we're going to cover everybody in Erenjog district on NHI. We did not support the building of the Caracol Road. Remember, member from Cayo Northeast, when you said it's a road to nowhere. That's how you described it. Because it's not that it would not be important. It's simply that we believe that there were other priorities in other areas that we need to build. Now, we could have been coming to government and saying, we're going to stop it. And some members in cabinet will say, we need to stop it. But we, 3.5 million per mile. That is what you were saying, 3.5 million. But we are a responsible government. And we decided that we just can't throw away that money. When we look at the infrastructure of schools, we found that the infrastructure in many of the schools were really in a bad condition. As Minister of Education, the member from Colette had a loan for $56 million approved by the CDB. And what we have to show for these $56 million?
Faber went on to criticize the government for taking credit for projects that began under the last administration. He conceded that it is a practice for governments to do so, but that the current administration is capitalizing off initiatives that were already in the pipeline before they came to office.
The Prime Minister's address cited several examples of ongoing and completed projects that were initiated by the UDP. The fact that the Prime Minister takes no shame, he don't got no shame. The Minister of Education don't got no shame, they gonna go cut ribbon. Cut ribbon for schools all over the place. They never got nothing to deal with. The demands, you're obliged to do that. All I'm saying, you're obliged to attend the ceremony. Give credit where credit is due. The Prime Minister takes no shame, Madam Speaker, in claiming them as his government's achievements, and this is disingenuous and it lacks integrity. The way I choose to describe it, Madam Speaker, is that they are brazenly snatching the fruits of others' labors. They embody the essence of creative parasites. They're not afraid for you. Outright. Watch the STEAM initiative. I could never believe them. You'd think that they conceive the way they speak about this STEAM initiative. The Prime Minister mentioned it in his, my goodness, I came to this honorable house years ago. The loan was approved years ago.
Faber said that while the government points to an impressive annual growth rate, employment rate, and reduction in poverty levels, the reality on the streets tells a different story. He went over some of the figures that Prime Minister John Briceño presented and said that somehow there's a disparity in the figures presented and the actual reality.
I go back to this line, Madam Speaker. 95% of those who seek employment are working. So, in other words, if you're not out there actively, and the situation is, Madam Speaker, that some people get very frustrated. After you try and try and try, you apply for a job over and over and over again. So, by their calculations, these people aren't unemployed anymore. If the argument is that there is a growing number of persons who don't have jobs but are not looking for work, then, Madam Speaker, we have a different type of problem, and this country might be further up the proverbial creek, and we don't want to admit it. Then he went on, Madam Speaker, in his presentation, the Prime Minister, to speak about the government's claim of reducing poverty. This, Madam Speaker, warrants some deep investigation. The Prime Minister announced that 68,000 persons have escaped poverty, which is an extraordinary achievement for our nation. If this is true, Madam Speaker, and apparently the SIB has claimed the same, I believe that's your source, if I'm not mistaken, Prime Minister. They have said, again, that poverty has miraculously gone down from 52% when the UDP was in power to 39.5% just miraculously. And this is why I cautioned, Madam Speaker, from the start of my presentation that what you all present in terms of the numbers on paper is a pretty picture, but the reality out there is different.
Coming up, illegal garbage dump sites, a perennial issue in Ladyville. Find out the details when we come back.
Hello friends, I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "For the ways of man are before the eyes of the Lord, and He pondereth all His goings." Here is one of the most comforting and yet convincing verses in all the Bible. It is comforting in knowing that Christ sees and knows of our hurts and sorrow. It is convicting in knowing that none of our sins and our actions can go beyond the range of His vision. His eyes sees and weighs our action. A burglar once burglarized a New York luxury apartment. The detectives could not find one clue, and finally, as they were leaving, they saw a statue of Christ facing the wall and thought that to be strange. They carried it to the station to see if they could find fingerprints. They did, and the burglar was arrested and was asked why the statue was facing the wall. He replied, "Well, when I was going through all the dresser drawers, I saw that statue of Christ looking right at me. It was as though Christ Himself was looking at me, and I could not stand it, and so I turned His face away from me so that He could not see me." You may turn the face of a statue away from you, but you can never turn the face of Christ. He sees and considers all of your ways. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
VAL's High School Energy Challenge just got better. You have more time to study, register, and win. Register online at val.com.bz/energychallenge by Monday, March 20th. Students, high schools, start preparing. Log in anytime from Monday, March 27th to Friday, March 31st to complete the challenge. It only takes 1 hour to complete the challenge. And you could win one of 100 laptops, one of 25 $500 tuition vouchers, or one of 25 $250 stationery vouchers. The top 3 high schools also receive cash prizes of $1,000, $2,000, and $3,000. Study anything and everything. Let's Talk Energy on our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages. Register now and get ready for VAL's High School Energy Challenge.
This Friday at the FFP Stadium in Belmopan, it's personal. The policemen's national team versus Guatemala's national team in the CONCACAF Nations League on Friday, March 24th at 8 p.m. Don't miss a minute of the action. Catch it live only on Channel 5. This one is for Belize. Sponsors are My Lights, Nando's Wholesale, Midriver, Rambocan, Uno, Climate Finance Unit, Ministry of Economic Development, Atlantic Insurance, Modisco, Smart Belize, Road Safety Project, Ministry of Finance Economic Development, in partnership with Caribbean Development Bank, Police Tourism Board, Penny's Home Center, and Digi.
Belize City, your defenders are in a critical state, but as the saying goes, don't watch us get into trouble, watch us get out. Yes! Belize All Capital Sports and Muy Uno brings another episode of Friday Night Lights. And it stars your high-flying, sharp-shooting, high-octane Belize City defenders doing battle against the Belmopan Red Tigers. This must-win game for both teams goes down this Friday, March 24th inside the Belize Civic Center. Come see the Talladega Tornado, Mr. Nigel Jones, along with his supporting cast, do battle with them boys from the capital. Fans, come get a chance at the 1-2-3 Oil Halftime Challenge. As one fan, get a chance to win $3,000 in cash. The official after party goes down inside Shisha 8 Long. Friday, March 24th. Tip-off is set for 9 p.m. sharp. Your Belize City Defenders versus Belmopan Red Tigers. Sponsored by Muy Uno. Uno, 123 Vegetable Oil, Honorable Anthony Mala, Channel 5, Britain Inc., the Belize City Council, The Tavern, Premier Charter and Tours, Body 2000, Madisco, Full Memory Photography, Shisha 8 Down, Nocturnal, Smiling Meats, and Mars Rental.
Belize has made significant investments in its solid waste management efforts over the years. But in spite of these developments, some communities have been unable to get a handle on illegal dumping. It has been a perennial issue in Ladyville, and tonight Bernadette Bennett, the village chairman, is calling on residents to cease the practice. He says it's costing the Ladyville Village Council thousands of dollars to clean up illegal dump sites when there is a waste management system in place. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
Several streets in Ladyville are being taken over by illegal garbage dump sites. Heaps of garbage have been dumped along the Philip Golson Highway in Ladyville, through main arteries that lead into the village, and even near the homes of some residents. Back in 2017, News 5 produced a story on the issue. In that piece, then-era Representative Beverly Williams referred to the issue as an unceasing problem. Since then, there has been a change in administrative leadership of the constituency, but 7 years later, the issue persists. Today, Bernadette Bennett, chairman of the village, says he is at his wit's end in trying to remedy the matter.
If you notice, if you travel from Hanover Bridge to the main entrance to the international airport, you will see garbage. And we try our best. I work with the Ministry of Infrastructure. Sometimes the village council do some self-cleaning. But you clean up today, tomorrow, you'll find an extra amount of garbage on the roadside. And like I said, the hot spots are similar. I mean, we have hot spots that people, like for instance, in Milpa area, there is a big hot spot right in front of the larger community warehouse people live. And I always ask them, you know, why you allow people to just come and dump right in front of this community. We have another area in the Japan Mirage Road, we call it the Compassion Lane, opposite Compassion Lane. People simply go and dump their garbage at the roadside.
We visited the Milpa area in the community to hear the views of residents on illegal dumping along their streets. We were able to speak with a few villagers who live near this illegal dump site. They requested to be interviewed off camera.
You know, it look bad, you know, for the people now, for everybody who live in the community, you know. Even a little lady where do a little thing, a little fast food thing, you know. So a little show, you know. it look bad because then they're lead clients and they're both time, they watch all that. We'll see where I have to try. Is it?
Who does it? Who dumps?
Both and both, they don't want, pay off the lead truck, it'll be better, do the right thing,
Well, I feel concerned because a lot of times you have to pass the rubbish and it smells bad and it's not something healthy, People supposed to be more responsible because, that way everybody pass, the environment look dirty, look good.
You know who do it?
Well, more likely, I not say who do it, but the thing is, whosoever do it, that's just nastiness because, they have the truck, then could pay it.
According to Bennett, private sanitation companies are contracted to collect garbage from households across the entire village on a bi-weekly basis at a cost of $15 per month. But, as one community member pointed out, some people simply cannot afford to pay the fee. Therein lays one of the root issues.
Sometimes we got to burn stuff. when we think about it, sometimes we have to utilize our own source, our own way we do for our own stuff and we burn them. But it's not really, that's not really it's not good. So
tell me something. You don't have garbage trucks that come through here?
Yeah, but you got to pay these guys.
So why don't you just pay the garbage truck? Is it too expensive?
Well, I'm not so sure about the price. I think it costs
$15.
We could do that, but not everybody can afford it.
Based on information we gathered from these residents, most people view these illegal dump sites as an eyesore and an environmental hazard. The alternative suggested for those unable to pay the monthly fee was to burn their personal waste. However, that method too poses its own environmental challenges.
And if they can't pay, well, at least do something, like burn your garbage, or, I don't think you consume that much where you pollute the air neither, because I don't agree upon that neither. But
if I have an ideal pack or I stuff it in my pocket until I reach home, and then I have a bag, and then I'll just have a little spot where I burn my stuff, but we should be better than that. We should do better than that.
It is safe to say that among residents there is a consciousness as to the environmental and aesthetic impacts of this illegal practice. Yet, there has been little to no change over the past decade.
Well, I am had enough. I'm just appealing to the community to please cease and desist. Mr. Efrain Miller, Mr. Ewing, and Mr. Griffith. Their phone numbers are all over the internet. You could always call these people and get their service to take your garbage away, man.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
In his wrap-up of the three-day budget debate, Prime Minister John Briceño summarized what his government has done over the past couple years, and that investor confidence has increased in the past 2 years. He also highlighted the upcoming visit of the Prime Minister of Taiwan, Tsai Ing-wen, shortly.
In just 2 years, our government has spent $16.6 billion supporting low-income housing program. And you are asking me what are the solutions? My brother, the solutions are right in front of you. Only that you refuse to open your eyes, or you just don't want to say the truth. Our teachers, they have more resource centers online to assist them with planning of their classes, and ask the Belizean people if they are not proud of what Belize is doing on the world stage with a robust and principled foreign policy. Everywhere you go in other countries, they want to hear the Belize story. In 2 short years, we have hosted more leaders in this country than what the UDP hosted in 13 years. 13 years. Let's take this opportunity to mention, again, as I mentioned to our ambassador from Taiwan, the opportunity how happy we are and how pleased and how proud we are that about the visit of the President of Taiwan in 2 short weeks. And we will be inviting her to come here to this Parliament to address both the Senate and the House of Representatives.
Public transportation buses will have to upgrade their fleets by December of 2024, according to the Minister of Transport, Rodwell Ferguson. But along with that requirement, there will be a system that will be followed for the grades of buses that will be allowed on the road, as the minister outlined. Ferguson assured commuters that new and better buses must be introduced and that by the end of this year, there will be electric buses in Belize City.
I want to tell the nation that because I want to improve a standard, I will be accused of so many things. But I know I have a clear conscience between myself and my God. All what I want to see is the bus industry improve and transform. As long as the Prime Minister allows me to be the Minister of Transportation, that improvement will come to fruition. It's a difficult task because people believe in business as usual, and nobody wants change. We're not subject to change, but the communities of this country are crying out for change. So we have a commitment that by December of 2024, all those old buses on the road now will have to be parked, and we have a system that Cabinet approves. Anything under 10 years will be premier service. Anything under 20 years will be for regular runs, but you must have a certain standard with bucket seat and air conditions. And anything 25 years and over must be village runs. So a bus will go from one standard to the next because we want to show our commuters and we want to provide the best transportation for them. We have experienced many deficiencies in the transportation industry, where doors for buses are flying off. We're sitting in a bus, and then you can see the ground through the buses. That has to stop. I think you all understand that hopefully by the end of the year, there will be a pilot project, not only in Belize City, but likewise on the Western Corridor, where we'll get some pilot buses to run for 1 year to understand how to operate these electric buses.
The budget allocated for the sports portfolio for 2023 stands at $3.2 million, which is almost double what it was 2 years ago, when it was $1.7 million. Similarly, the Minister of Sports, Rodwell Ferguson, highlighted the sports venues that will see upgrades in the new fiscal year.
In 2021, $1.7 million was allotted to sports in 2021. In budget of 2023 to 2024, $3.2 million have been allocated for over a period of 3 years. So I can tell you that under the PUP government, we recognize the importance of sports, so it has been increased by a whopping 53%. The minister, or a member from Pickstock, when I assumed the responsibility of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Transportation, told me that, Minister Ferguson, we need to collaborate and improve the Border Field. And so, with his funds from the Belize Tourism Board, from the Ministry of Sports or the Department of Sports, and likewise the FFB, we agreed to fund the $450,000 for the Border Field. And today it's a living example. As the minister responsible, Minister Mala, I will ensure that we keep that stadium or that facility properly maintained and properly secured, because it's a very, very expensive venture. And I believe other parts of the country need to do the same. I visited the field by the Raccoon Street Police Station about a month ago. And Madam Speaker, I can tell you, that particular field is in a deplorable condition. And I want to assure the people of that area, especially the Thomas, that within this budget, we are going to renovate that football field for the people of Belize City. MCC football field has been a tradition for many, many years as we can reflect back in history. It was partially destroyed by Hurricane Lisa over 60 years. Partially destroyed by Hurricane Lisa. Right now we are doing a study of MCC and putting a plan together to figure out how we can get back the MCC to where it was in the past. So in the coming months, you will see some complete transformation at the MCC football field. Mexico Center. It was also partially destroyed by Hurricane Lisa. Practically the entire roof gone. To renovate it back, it will cost us over $300,000. Even though that center had not been fully passed over to the country of Belize by Mexico through UNOX. I went to Mexico 3 weeks ago, and we brought up the conversation with them, and they asked us to do an estimate and to get back to them and see how they can assist in repairing back Mexico Center.
After the break, protesters want administrator out of St. Francis Xavier Credit Union. We'll tell you about that, but first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
While you cannot prevent accidents from happening, you can take steps to protect yourself from the financial burden that can result from an accident. Orphanage Life Insurance Personal Accident Plan is the solution for you. With our personal accident plan, you are covered anywhere in the world. This plan pays out a benefit for any dismemberment as the benefit is paid directly to you. It can also cover the need for medical artificial appliances such as wheelchair, crutches, hearing aid, and prosthetics. In the event life is lost due to an accident, the personal accident plan pays out the insured amount to the beneficiaries. Now, you can live with the confidence that we have you covered. Let the Orphanage Life team assist you in planning for your future. Call us today at 221-5143 or visit our website at orfglife.com. Orphanage Life Insurance, the life company.
Nestled away in the quaint Belize River Valley, Black Orchid's Panda River Restaurant offers a variety of great dining areas and experiences with an excellent variety of local and international cuisine, with healthy meal options for vegans and those with health concerns. Your delectable dining can be topped off with our excellent desserts, natural fruit juices, and exquisite wine and drink options. All prepared by our certified chef and award-winning mixologist. Come to Panda River Restaurant and River Rum Bar to relax in the pool or use our excellent conference facilities combined with great dining.
A diamond in the jungle.
This Friday at the FFP Stadium in Belmopan, it's personal. The Belize men's national team versus Guatemala's national team in the CONCACAF Nations League on Friday, March 24th at 8 p.m. Don't miss a minute of the action. Catch it live only on Channel 5. This one is for Belize. Sponsors are My Lights, Nando's Wholesale, Midriver, Rambocan, Uno, Climate Finance Unit, Ministry of Economic Development, Atlantic Insurance, Modisco, Smart Belize, Road Safety Project, Ministry of Finance Economic Development, in partnership with Caribbean Development Bank, Police Tourism Board, Penny's Home Center, and Digi.
The last time we visited Miss Francesca Howers was to deliver the exciting news that she was chosen to receive a home sponsored by SMART for its 18th anniversary through the Hand in Hand Ministries housing program. Since then, she has actively been participating in attending Saturday sessions to improve her life skills, cleared her property for its foundation and construction of her home, and has assisted in the construction of a home for another recipient of Hand in Hand housing program. All these activities are to foster a more responsible, responsive citizen in our community.
Today, a small group of protesters gathered near the Central Park in Corozal Town, across from the St. Francis Xavier Credit Union. With placards and posters in hand, the group paraded around the park, chanting that they want Administrator Martin Marszalek out of the credit union. Back on March 10th, the Registrar of Credit Unions, Kareem Michael, announced that all remedies had been exhausted to address the controversy surrounding the administration of the credit union, and that the appointment of Marszalek was required for the protection of equities and the interests of 32,000 plus member owners of the credit union. Today, the management team, who were stripped of their powers, were out in protest. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
There are 32,000 plus member owners of the St. Francis Xavier Credit Union Limited in Corozal. They're primarily teachers, caneros, and others. Today, about 50 of those persons, including the management team of the credit union, were out in protest. They want recently appointed Administrator Martin Marszalek removed from the credit union. Rafael Dominguez is the general manager and believes that the issues could have been resolved internally.
On March 10th, the Central Bank of Belize, without any due notice, arrived at the premises of the credit union and suspended the board of directors, the credit committee, supervisory committee, some managers, including myself, and 12 staff members as well. And that is where this thing has come up regarding the members and the Central Bank of Belize. We are still in an on-hand supervision. As a matter of fact, we have been complying with them on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. Just in a short period of time when the new officers came in office, 8 months, I could say, we have been working diligently to try to comply as a normal institution with the many deficiencies that they might have found.
The announcement of Marszalek's appointment was made by the Registrar of Credit Unions, Kareem Michael, who is also the governor of the Central Bank of Belize. This is the reason why the protesters are saying that they want the Central Bank of Belize out of the credit union. Mayet Castillo says that as management, they had completed 75% of the requests made by Michael, and that the installation of an administrator came as a slap in their face.
The governor went through the media stating the good standing of our St. Francis Xavier Credit Union. And now they turn around and they say that there are certain things that they need to be fixed. Those things that they needed to be fixed were from 2017-18, when the passport was there. And they made a blind eye to it. I personally sent a list of anomalies to Central Bank before we came into place, into office. And at the end, they're putting the whole brunt on us to do miracles. Why they didn't demand from the previous board? Now that they see that our credit union has potential, they want to interfere. They know where they can get it. And including Central Bank that is immediately under the government, I think the government need to think twice before interfering, because this is the poor man's bank, nobody else's.
According to Registrar Michael, the enhanced supervision came on the heels of an examination of the credit union's operations, which revealed critical deficiencies in the governance of the institution. He said that unaccountability at the management level could destabilize the credit union and harm the interests of its members. Watching from the sidelines is Ruth Rodriguez, As a member owner, she welcomes the administrator because she says that as Belizeans, they need accountability.
Our dividends every year is very low, 3%, and I mean, that is not right, okay? Well, according to the last meeting, they wanted to make Mr. Dominguez stay as manager and what's not. But me as a member, I don't agree with him with an $11,000 a month. I mean, the credit union is for the poor people. It's not for the rich people, okay? And I get very disappointed when I see those people walking there. We as members, we are supposed to ask and to join everybody. Let's get together, not fighting, not demonstration. Let's just ask what really is going on there. Is Mr. Rivero getting investigated? Is there a lawyer paid by the credit union? As I asked Mr. Polk just now, I said, how on earth Dominguez is going to take $75,000 to pay a lawyer? That is our money. Does he ask the members, are you going to finance my lawyer? Nobody knows. Money comes out. But when the year comes, next year, how much are we getting? 3%? I don't have millions of dollars at credit union. But even if you have $50, you're a member. You have a say. You have 1,000, you have a say. You have 5,000. You have a say just like the $50 there.
You know, I was talking to somebody earlier and they were saying that, you know, at the onset of this, because they are uncertain about what's the future of the credit union, they've decided to just take out their money, close down their accounts and take the money elsewhere.
A lot of people are doing that. And I am here to support the poor. And I like that Central Bank is in there doing a job. They don't want credit union. They're doing a job. Accountability. That's all. And that's what we need as Belizeans. Yes or no?
So what's next? The former management wants answers.
What we want to know is where the credit union stand, who will be paying the expenses of the administrator and the other expenses the central bank is incurring over the credit union for having an administrator.
The protesters say that they are getting legal advice on the way forward. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
A family in Monkey River Village is seeking assistance to rebuild their home after it was destroyed by fire last week. Danette Young left her house to visit her mom in the same community when approximately 15 minutes later, someone called to inform her that the building was on fire. When she arrived at the property, the house was fully engulfed in flames. Young, her common-law husband, and their children lost everything in the blaze. We spoke with her today over the phone.
Came out to my mom to make her tea. And so I just went to the shop at the point by Ivan to get some Johnny cake that I ordered, and by the time I got there, I would say like about 15 minutes after I left home, somebody came and said, Danette, your house is on fire. So I run back down the street to my mom and hear my common-law husband, Jeremy Garbuck, to come and see. I told him the house is on fire. I told the kids, I said, tell your dad the house is on fire. And by the time we got there, he had a big black smoke. And you can see the smoke pushing out from from through the flooring, the windows, and one of my cousins kicked the door open. And when they kicked the door open, all the fire came out like a curtain and engulfed the whole house.
Are you at all aware as to what may have been the cause or started the fire? Did you maybe leave something on when you went out for that brief moment?
I don't think so. Not that I can remember. And currently I wasn't cooking at home. I was cooking at my mom's, so I didn't use my stove for at least 2 years. So I would probably say it's electrical. We lost pretty much everything. I'll document values, things that I had for years that I value. Bed, sofa, TV, My husband had a couple $1,000 worth of fishing equipment, everything gone. GPS, light, battery, everything. Baits. And we lost all our papers, passport, social card, vehicle keys, everything.
Those willing to assist Danette Young and her family in their rebuilding efforts can contact her at 624-8639. A man was murdered this morning in Santa Elena town. According to police, just before 3 o'clock, they responded to a report on the George Price Highway near the Red Creek area of Santa Elena town. When they arrived at the scene, they observed the motionless body of a male person on the side of the road. The body was observed with a cut wound to the chest area. The victim was later identified as 51-year-old Julian Villanueva, a resident of Santa Elena Town, Cayo District. The motive behind this latest murder is yet to be determined. Police are investigating. Police are also investigating a road traffic accident in Bella Vista Village that has left one man dead. Reports are that sometime around 5:30 a.m. on Thursday, 55-year-old Ramon Ortega was driving a bus from Bella Vista to San Isidro Village when a male person ran across the road. Ortega told police that he was unable to avoid hitting the individual. According to police, the victim received head and body injuries and died at the scene. The body was transported to the Southern Regional Hospital and the victim is yet to be identified. When we return, Belizean woman living abroad wins prestigious award.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. If you have a picture, video or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
With eCash, bill payment is extremely convenient, and all utility companies accept eCash payments. What's even better, you get to split bills with your roommates, siblings, or whoever you desire. Simply open your eCash app, go to Bill Pay, tap the respective utility company, enter the information, and pay the bill. Then tap the transaction made. Tap Split the Bill. Select Evenly. Send the request to who you are splitting the bill with, and get notified when they pay. Talk about making life easy and avoiding confusion. You can split the bill for restaurants, grocery stores, and for any eCash payment you make. To find your next yummy meal, hair treatment, or chill spot, simply open the app and utilize the geolocation service to see nearby businesses that accept eCash. Geolocation and bill payment make life a whole lot easier.
This Friday at the FFP Stadium in Belmopan, it's personal. The policemen's national team versus Guatemala's national team in the CONCACAF Nations League on Friday, March 24th at 8 p.m. Don't miss a minute of the action. Catch it live only on Channel 5. This one is for Belize. Sponsors are My Lights, Nando's Wholesale, Midriver, Rambocan, Uno, Climate Finance Unit, Ministry of Economic Development, Atlantic Insurance, Modisco, Smart Belize, Road Safety Project, Ministry of Finance Economic Development, in partnership with Caribbean Development Bank, Police Tourism Board, Penny's Home Center, and Digi.
At SMART, we embrace change, innovation, and equality. From energy and transport to telecommunications and network technology, our females are bringing their own style of leadership to traditionally male-dominated sectors and breaking down barriers for the next generation. Therefore, fostering our women's sense of self-worth, her decision-making power, her access to opportunities and resources is at the forefront at SMART. SMART celebrates all women this Women's Month under the theme Digital Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality.
A Belizean woman living and working in San Diego, California has won a prestigious award. Belizean-born Bernadette Griggs left Belize way back in 1980 and settled in the United States. There she advanced educationally and in 2018 joined an organization called the Jewish Family Service, where she is the chief financial officer, managing a budget of over $90 million, compared to $26 million when she had just assumed the job. Griggs shared her story with News 5. Marian Ali reports.
Bernadette Griggs is a Garifuna woman from Hopkins Village. At the age of 17, she migrated to the United States and worked towards advancing herself in education and employment. Now, as the Chief Financial Officer of the Jewish Family Service, a non-profit charity that started in 1918, takes care of the homeless and people who have difficulty making ends meet. She was nominated from among 177 CFOs from other organizations in San Diego for the Business Journal CFO of the Year award. Last Friday, it was announced that she won. By the sheer number of competitors, the competition was stiff.
In the county of San Diego, there are 177 nonprofit agencies serving 3.2 million people, and in 20 cities, that spans about 4,200 square miles. And that's a little bit about the county. So there was an opportunity to be nominated, and my job decided that I was worthy of the award. and nominated me, and there was a ceremony where that was announced that I was a winner in the nonprofit sector as the Chief Financial Officer of the Year.
Griggs explained the significance of such an award to her.
Coming from Belize is very significant, and as a young girl growing up in a very small village of Hopkins, and during that time, Hopkins didn't have running water. We didn't have plumbing. We didn't have running water and electricity. So to have gone through that and to be able to get to the place of where I am today, I mean, it's a significant achievement.
Griggs has a master's degree and underwent additional training in order to qualify for the post that she currently holds. She has been able to grow the organization's budget from $26 million to $90 million in just a few years. Prior to that, she held several outstanding positions. Now, having given herself a chance to live comfortably, Griggs has used her personal funds to look back on young Belizean students.
For the past, I would say maybe 4 years, I've taken much interest in the education of students in Belize, specifically South. I've done some work at Ecumenical High School, Ladyville High School, and of course my beautiful village of Hopkins. I have was able to give the school some laptops, computer desktops, and so forth. And I continue to, and it's important for our kids to have technology. During the time when there was pandemic, there were students that used paper. The parents had to go to the principals once a week to get paper. There was an opportunity for me to be able to help some in regards to giving some tablets to students there.
Griggs says she is currently preparing to ship more tablets to Belize to be distributed to students. Now, as she approaches retirement, Griggs says she wants to return to Belize and to open a lab for students to learn.
I'm going to be migrating back to Hopkins and live there. And what I would like to do is be able to create a lab for students on after school. I want to have a kind of after school program, tutoring program, having tablets where students can come, get help with their homework, have internet access. I will expand the bandwidth of my internet in my home so that they can come and be there and have help and have access to tablets and do their homework. And working with the school in the village is my goal.
Griggs is married and has 2 sons, one who is an engineer and another who works in the medical field. The San Diego Business Journal will publish a full-page feature on Griggs' story on March 27th. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
Tickets are sold out as the FFB's national A team, the Belize Jaguars, goes head-to-head with the Guatemalan national team in the CONCACAF Nations League. It's the home game for Team Belize, and for weeks, the team has been sharpening its skills to take down the Guatemalan footballers. Back in June of last year, Belize lost in a 2-0 finish in Guatemala. And tonight, they will use the home field advantage in an effort to come out victorious. Team manager Ian Jones says that tonight we'll hear the roar of the Jaguars at the FFB Stadium.
Luckily for us, this time around, the PLB has been actively running at a very high level, and so what we did was somewhat of a hybrid workout system where we'd bring the players into camp 2 to 3 days a week, depending on the PLB schedule. So we've been doing that for the past 10 weeks. That's for the locally based players, and then to complement that, now we've brought in 9 foreign-based players, and it's the first time we've had so many foreign-based players. This basically is a revamp of the national team. You'll see a lot of new, young, vibrant faces, and the whole idea behind that is the rebuilding of the team starts now, because we are about to move into a next World Cup qualifying cycle as well as a Gold Cup qualifying cycle over the next 2-year period. So we are rebuilding the team from now. These young players, we still do have a couple veteran players, but it's just a transition stage that we're going through right now. But these players, man, I mean, I'm excited every time I watch them play, and I think the public, everybody who comes out to watch a game will be amazed by the level that these players are playing.
If you were unable to get your ticket, you can tune in right here on Channel 5 and watch the play-by-play of the game from the comfort of your homes. The game begins at 8 p.m. sharp. Up next on this week's Bright Side, Renee Wentz Empowerment Self-Defense Workshop.
Environmentally degradable plastics, or EDP, are plastics that are affected by a combination of environmental conditions that cause the plastic to break down within an acceptable time frame. They are specifically designed to degrade into carbon dioxide, water, and other biomass substances. The level of breakdown can vary based on standard test methods appropriate to the plastic. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
Join us for an engaging and inspiring service from Sagebrush Church that the whole family will love. Each week, you will have the opportunity to take part in amazing worship and learn how you can make your personal relationship with God a priority. Watch us on TV, stream us online, or visit us in person at one of our 8 physical locations. Go to sagebrush.church or download the Sagebrush app to find locations and times to watch.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
If you are ailing due to a chronic disease and are left permanently invalid before retirement age, you may want to check if you qualify to receive invalidity benefit. The invalidity benefit exists for persons who are unable to continue working due to permanent illness. To qualify, you must be under 60 years old, must be sick for 26 consecutive weeks and certified to be medically unable to perform any type of work, must have at least 5 years of paid SSB contributions and at least 5 paid within the 3 months leading up to your illness. If you do not qualify for the invalidity pension, you may be eligible for the invalidity grant. Want to know more about invalidity benefit? Visit our website or contact any of our offices to have someone assist you. Also, be sure to visit our Facebook page and give us a like to stay informed. Social Security Board. Safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Messi! Off goal! What a goal from Leo Messi! What an incredible strike from Leo Messi! Neymar and Messi is standing over this. Messi.
Great entertainment stays with you, and we bring you great entertainment. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
This Friday at the FFP Stadium in Belmopan, it's personal. The policemen's national team versus Guatemala's national team in the CONCACAF Nations League on Friday, March 24th at 8 p.m. Don't miss a minute of the action. Catch it live only on Channel 5. This one is for Belize. Sponsors are My Lights, Nando's Wholesale, Midriver, Rambocan, Uno, Climate Finance Unit, Ministry of Economic Development, Atlantic Insurance, Modisco, Smart Belize, Road Safety Project, Ministry of Finance Economic Development, in partnership with Caribbean Development Bank, Police Tourism Board, Penny's Home Center, and Digi.
After a rough week of school, Jake and his friends decide to treat themselves to frozen coffee. And since they don't have cash on them, they decide to use eCash. With eCash's geolocation feature, Jake can easily find the nearest coffee spot. With eCash's built-in option to split bills, Jake can pay the bill and his friends can reimburse their portion of the bill. Jake scans the merchant's code and confirms payment. Jake then views his transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made, then taps the split the bill button where he selects the evenly option to evenly split the bill. The application splits the bill automatically. His friends receive and accept the request. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash makes Jake enjoy his digital lifestyle.
She was a teacher and guidance counselor, but this all-arounder is also one tough cookie, and she's got a workshop to help you defend yourself too. I joined Renee Wentz for this week's Look on the Bright Side and learned the 5-step approach she prepared to help you defend yourself in the event you're under threat.
On the Bright Side is brought to you by Uno, a brand committed with the future.
Good. Good. I'll do the other side too.
Renee Wentz has been teaching self-defense in Belize as far back as 2002. She has a black belt in Taekwondo and a wealth of experience under her belt as it relates to the empowerment women feel when they learn the principles of protecting themselves.
I think one of the things that we do learn about this is that it's not even just about the physical protection. It's about having more freedom, like feeling a sense of safety. Because a lot of times when women leave their homes, they feel nervous. What I want to just teach you is, it's called a palm heel strike. I don't teach a punch because there's so many little bones in the hand, you'll break your fingers. And the palm heel is really effective. And it's as effective really as a punch as long as you know how to do it. And I didn't really know there's a name for what I'm doing except for teaching self-defense. And then I learned later on that I was teaching what we were calling at the time feminist self-defense. And so that kind of has morphed in the last 28 odd years into what we call empowerment self-defense. And so with this one, again, you want your leg that you're doing it with a little bit back so you don't hit yourself in the leg. And it's just a wind up.
According to Wentz, empowerment self-defense is a trauma-informed system. It recognizes not only physical moves as protection, but as a means of building confidence and enablement. Her 3-hour workshop covers a 5-phase approach to preparing yourself for empowerment self-defense. The first is think.
And that has to do with observation. Paying attention to what's going on in your surroundings. And really, I would say probably about out of a 3.5-hour class, I spend at least 45 minutes on that. Because attackers don't attack randomly. That idea that I was in the wrong place at the wrong time is just, it's almost never correct. The attacker interviews you. It doesn't mean they're not going to come up and talk to you necessarily. They might. But they're watching you to see if you're a good victim. Because the first thing they don't want is to get caught. In this instance, you want to put it on all the way. So if you're going to carry that, you have to
But
use...
it looks fashionable this way.
Yes, but we don't care about fashion, and we care about safety right here.
Yeah.
And so that's not a grab and go now. If it's on one shoulder, it's a grab and go. But here, now, if I want to get that from you, I have to have a conversation with you. I have to convince you to give it to me. Okay, remember we talked about their interviewing. That's part of the interview. How are you carrying your stuff? So if they just want to steal your stuff, they might just watch you for 5 minutes. But if they want to harm you, maybe it's a stalker, maybe it's just somebody that doesn't like you for some reason, they might watch you for 5 weeks.
Her second and third principles are using yelling and running as a mode of defense from an attacker.
I know at some point I read some research that said 86% of the time when a woman, usually it's a woman, but when she yells, the attacker will run off. And that means no fighting, just the yell. If you can get out of a situation, if you can exit a situation and get to safety, then you want to do that. You don't want to stay and fight ever, because anytime you stay and fight, it's always an opportunity for you to get harmed. Okay, so if you can exit the situation, exit it. Also, run has an observation and run has to do with knowing where your exits are. Where is it I need to get to safety?
The fourth is fight. The first three principles disclose preventative measures when faced with a potential situation of physical harm. But when options 1 to 3 are fruitless, Principle 4 can be the step that minimizes the most possible harm.
And so one of the things about when you're learning fight, the way I teach it is I teach targets first and techniques second. Because the techniques that I teach you 6 techniques, but they can be used to multiple targets. Let's say if somebody grabs your arm. Now, if it's a friend grabbing my arm, you could grab any arm, any hand. I know, and hold it tight. Hold it real tight. Now, I don't want to hurt you. I don't have to hurt you. And simply, all I'm going to do is draw a circle over.
Okay.
So you're just making a circle towards the person's thumb, whichever way the thumb is. So grab me with the other hand. So I went this way over the other one. I go this way over this one.
Okay.
Now, the difference is push down hard. If I try to go this way, it's much more resistance. You see, you can resist, but you can't resist that way. That's simply because your wrist won't turn like that. And that's a really simple one. I didn't even do it hard, right? And you just couldn't hold on.
The last principle is tell. This involves addressing the aftermath of trauma that may come with the need of protecting oneself. As a counselor, Renee feels she can be even more of a help.
Empowerment self-defense recognizes that it's not just, we don't just teach you physical moves. There's a lot more that goes into it. And because as a counselor, I see the effects of abuse, childhood abuse, and assaults and sexual assaults for adults, I see that in my counseling. So for me, it was such a match because I felt like I can not only prevent, hopefully if people come to my class and nothing's happened, I can prevent it, but I can also give them some skills to help them feel more empowered.
Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
On the Bright Side was brought to you by Uno, a brand committed with the future.
From now on, when you visit Uno, you will experience an A+ power in all fuels. Dynamax has evolved into Dynamax Plus. The new formula with the ultimate technology and additives provides an A+ power and A+ performance. Dynamax Plus, available in diesel, regular and premium. Try it today and reach further. Uno, a different energy.
Renee Wentz's Empowerment Self-Defense Workshop is open to everyone, including children. If you would like to access her trainings, you can reach her at 630-5571. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.